Hello everyone and welcome on this new weekly market analysis video from Xtreme Trader. This is Salah speaking. I'm very happy to say that we have indeed fulfilled our promise and we have made the comeback, and we have made in the Xtreme Trader Premium Forex Signals group on Telegram more than 496 pips of profits to our clients. It was amazing week and I'm very happy for the results. However, I just wanted to say something about those who are using the copier. I prefer if you guys switch to plan number 3, the option number 3. So far we are having some issues with option 1 and 2, and I'm personally advising you to switch to option number 3 for the meantime, just to secure some good profits. Now of course, these are the results of the signals, and as we can see, most of them in a green. And by the way, I have a big announcement to say. We have actually reduced our stop loss. Our stop losses right now are ranging between 10 and 30 pips as maximum. No more 50 pips or 45 pips of a stop loss. It's now gonna be between 10 and 30 pips only, which is actually a big announcement, and I think it's a big improvement for Xtreme Trader Forex signals. As we can see, my friends, in the results, most of our signals have went straight in the profit. As we can see, very small losses compared to huge profits. As we can see, so many signals have went in the green, making more than 200 pips in just one single day. That's really amazing. I'm so happy and so excited about the results. I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the real quality of Xtreme Trader. This is what I'm talking about always. Again, check this out. All of our signals, thankfully, I think actually most of them have went in the profit. As we can see, starting from Wednesday, we started to count the stop loss as 30, 25, 10, 15 pips and so on. No more 50 or 45 pips of stop loss. This is no more. Again, big improvement and big updates from Xtreme Trader. I'm very happy and very excited for the next week. I think it's gonna be even better, and hopefully we will make sure that everyone is gonna end up in profit. Again, I remind those who are using the auto copier system that I advise you guys to switch to option number 3 for the meantime only, just till we resolve the issues. Anyway, if you wish to join Xtreme Trader Forex Signals group, please contact our support. You can find their contact details in the description below this video. Contact them today and hopefully we will see you there. Now of course, let's take a look at the market and let's see what are the options and setups that are waiting for us for this upcoming week. I just wanted to mention something, that actually most of these signals which I have sent last midweek analysis video on Wednesday have actually went in the right direction. Euro USD has actually been ranging in this level as I have expected exactly, and it has almost touched the take profit level. Pound USD has also reached the take profit level, making more than 100 pips of profit. AUD USD has almost reversed from the take profit level, as we can see, so it has went in the right direction. USD CAD was actually going in the right direction, making total of 92 pips, 94 pips, before eventually continue the fall. So I think the peak of the take profit level was not so correct. Of course, USD JPY, USD CHF has failed, of course, which is normal, have failed, I mean. The gold actually has been struggling due to the speech of Mr. Jerome Powell, but however, eventually it went in the direction I have predicted and currently below the sell order. By the way, we are no more looking for selling the gold, and I will talk about that in this video. So of course, let's now begin with the weekly analysis, and as usual, we will start with the Euro USD. Of course, I need to delete the old signal first, since it's no longer valid. And let's see now, my friends, what we can do with the Euro USD. If you remember, I have said last week that we are actually looking to start longing the Euro USD. But however, we will be actually trading the pullback. So indeed, that is exactly what happened. The market has reversed at this level of the resistance at 1.05790, and it has went all the way to create the second attempt of the support. This was the first attempt. This was support number 1, and right here support number 2. Now the next movement for the Euro USD is definitely gonna be for the bullish. Now we have confirmed double bottom pattern. We have 2 attempts of the support, and we are having right here the real level of the support at 1.04811. Now I believe that there is no doubt that the Euro USD is getting ready for the bullish movement, and currently, by looking at the daily candles, right now we don't have here any signs of a bearish movement. So far, maybe someone will tell me, but Salah, this is the reverse hammer. This is your favorite price action for a bearish reversal. I tell you, you are right, but this is actually on a support level. I actually prefer this price action. For example, it was here on a resistance. If it's on a resistance, that's actually a good confirmation to start shorting the pair. We can see it actually right here. We can see it, let me just think. We can see it right here, and it of course took a while, but eventually the market has continued the fall. However, this candle right here has appeared on a support level. On a support, it's not really accurate. If you want to see something, you have to look at this candle right here. This is the candle which I'm talking about. This is my favorite price action, which indicates a bullish reversal. Once you see this candle appeared on a support level, especially on the daily candles, you can actually have, like, I would say about 85% confirmation that the market is indeed gonna continue the bullish reversal. So after confirming the direction on the daily chart, let's now move to the 4-hour time frame and let's look for the strongest support and resistance levels. So we can do that by two things. First of all, using the trend lines. Second of all, looking at the strong key support and resistance levels. The first option I want to use is, of course, these support trend lines. I really trust them. So again, on the 4-hour time frame scale, we're having right here the double bottom pattern, and right here we're having the real level of the support, which has been respected repeatedly several times. Which means right now, if we check the EUR/USD, most likely it's actually going to continue the rise very soon. So right now we can expect from the pair to fall to another 21 pips before it's going to continue the rise. Right now the market is actually facing a resistance right here at 1.0554. We can expect actually from the market to reverse right now. And however, if we look carefully, we're having right here the strong key support level. Actually, the right way to draw the line is like this, but I doubt that the market is going to reverse after just 18 pips. That's why I actually want to give you the safest option possible, and exactly just like that. So we are going to start buying the EUR/USD after the market respect that level of a real support. Now pay attention that the market actually has created right here a support trend line, and seems like the market is going to continue the rise, but we want actually more confirmation. So what I'm going to do right now is using a strategy called the magic of trend lines. The magic of trend lines is actually a strategy which is available on my channel. You can look it up on the videos. There is part 1 and part 2 where I have actually explained in brief how to apply this strategy. So the strategy rules is just simply like this. You need to find a support level and just draw the line just like that. Now, as you can see, the market has actually been respecting that level of a support trend line repeatedly. What you can do next is simply drag the very same line that you have drawn here, and you can see that the market actually has been respecting that level all the time. Almost all the time, actually, it has been respecting it. Actually, let me draw some other line here. I want something more clear, so I'm going to use this right here, like that. So simply, check this out. The market has actually been respecting the... Keep in mind, I have drawn the resistance trend line from this lower high to this higher high and this higher high. And now what I'm going to do next is simply drag the same line, and check this out. The market has indeed been respecting the same levels, even though I have drawn it from this resistance trend line. Still, it's being respected. And even right here and right here. Now what we can do next is simply like this. We need to zoom in and look at that. What I'm going to do is simply place the same support trend line right on this level of a support, and we can see clearly that the market has actually been respecting that level. After the bearish candle, it has become a small resistance trend line. Then we had right here the bullish candle, and the same level has actually become a support trend line. So right now we can expect from the market to make a pullback and reverses exactly at the same level of that support trend line, keeping that position and continue to rise. Now the question is how far the EUR/USD is going to continue rising to. Most likely the EUR/USD is actually going to continue the rise till it reaches the peak of the resistance exactly right here at 1.06402, which means we can look for almost 108 pips profit from this signal. Meanwhile, the safe zone is going to be ranging only till here, the lowest level of the support at 1.04837, which means the safe zone is, sorry, I bit my lips. The safe zone is ranging for about 49 pips, I would say, and the target is about 107 pips. Let me now please write the signal for you. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the Euro USD. Again, I want to remind everyone to please never use any pending orders. Always wait for the price action before you place any buy option here. Make sure that you are seeing any signs that the market is indeed getting ready for a bullish movement, and after that you can place your buy order. But placing here a pending order is a huge mistake. Anyway, let's now move to the next pair. Let's now take a look at the pound USD. Alright, so of course we need to delete the old signal. I believe that the dollar is actually getting weaker, and therefore we can start now buying the the pound USD. Now let me just tell you something. If I switch to the daily chart, on the daily chart we can see clearly that we had right here a strong key support level, which was, by the way, a real level of a support. And look at that, what happened on Wednesday and Thursday. The market has actually made a strong attempt to break out from that level of a support, however eventually has failed. That support was on 1.22102. Now what we can see right here is an inverted head and shoulders. This pattern usually is a very strong indicator that the market is indeed gonna continue the rise. So after confirming the direction right now on the daily chart, let's move to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, we're having here something very interesting. We can see clearly that the market has actually created here a resistance trend line and actually has been respecting it. And finally, the market has made indeed the bullish breakout from that level of a resistance trend line. However, I need to draw this line in a better way to make it actually more clear. So all I'm going to do is simply do like this, exactly just like that. So we had right here the resistance trend line, resistance trend line, resistance trend line. Then we had finally the bullish breakout from that level of a resistance trend line. Now let me zoom in and show you this. So right here we can see this candle right here, this tail. That tail was actually, my friends, the retest of the broken resistance trend line, which makes it support number 1 or support trend line number 1. Now all we need to do is simply wait for the pound USD to fall again to create the second attempt of the support, and from that point we can start buying the pair. However, let me now switch to the 1-hour time frame to have a better confirmation. So moving now to the 1-hour time frame. Now pay attention, I keep changing the lines based on the time frames. So on the daily chart it was a different way to draw the resistance trend line. On the 4-hour time frame it was now another way. Now on the 1-hour time frame I'm going to adjust this resistance trend line to make it actually more suitable for me, to make sure that actually I'm locating or selecting, sorry, the finest entries possible. Now, right now we are having here this resistance trend line right here. We are having also a resistance trend line right here and a resistance trend line right here. Now what happened next is that the market has indeed been able to actually leave that channel. Let me just show it to you, just like that. Exactly. So the market has been able to exit this channel right here, and right now we can see actually what we're having here is actually what we called a price explosion, which means that the market is indeed going to continue to fall, retesting the broken level of the resistance trend line, and after that it's going to continue the rise. Now we need another confirmation. We need to find a strong key support level which confirms our entry, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Check this out. So this level at 1.22531, pay attention, it was actually a very strong key support level all the time, which makes actually this level fantastic in my opinion to start buying the pair. We have to wait for the market to fall to another 21 pips before we can start buying it. However, if we started buying there, the target has to be actually the nearest strong key resistance level to our entry, which is going to be 1.23975, which means we are aiming approximately 144 pips profit from this signal. Meanwhile, the safe zone should be ranging only till right here, the lowest level of the support. Let me just make it a little bit more perfect, at 1.21899, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 63 pips. Meanwhile, the target is going to be 144 pips. Let me now please write the signal for you. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the pound USD. Of course, very similar to the previous pair. Please don't set any pending orders. Make sure that you are waiting for the price action, which confirms the bullish reversal before you can start buying the pair. That's everything for the pound USD. Let's now move to the next pair. Let's now take a look at the AUD USD. Alright, so regarding AUD USD, of course, we need to delete the old signal. Let me just delete it, and let's now see what we can do with this pair. So the first thing, of course, is we need to switch now to the bigger time frame. Let's go now to the daily chart. Now on the daily chart, we can see that the market has shown here a strong rejection from the breakout from that long-term support at 0.68699. Recently, we had right here a strong bullish engulfing candle after the appearance of that red candle right here. Most likely, the AUD USD is getting ready for a continuation in the momentum, and most likely is going to continue the rise till it actually reaches the peak of the resistance exactly right here at 0.70514. Of course, we need to consider that most likely the market is actually going to be moving in a slow volatility at the opening on Monday, so this actually might take some time. So let's now move to the smaller time frame. Let's now move to the 4-hour time frame. Now on the 4-hour time frame, what I mentioned earlier about the low volatility, because I think that the AUD USD is actually going to be ranging inside this channel for some time before finally going in the right direction. As we can see, the market has here shown a strength in that level of a resistance. That, my friends, right here was actually a false breakout. Meanwhile, this wick right here, these wicks right here represents the real level of the resistance. So however, our target is actually going to be aiming that the peak of the resistance at 0.70555, but in my opinion, the AUD USD is going to be ranging inside of this neutral channel before finally being able to reach the peak of that resistance right there at 0.70555. But let's now talk about the entry. So let me now move to the 1-hour time frame so we can actually see where exactly we can start placing our trade for the buy order, of course. Now again, I'm telling you, you need to always rely on the trend lines and the strong key support and resistance levels. Now it's very clear that we're having right here a strong key support level exactly right here at 0.69159. But let's also be more accurate. How about that? What I can see right here, my friends, is we're having here a resistance trend line, and all I can do is simply draw right here the resistance trend line, and right now we can actually expect from the AUD USD to continue the fall till it reaches the previous resistance trend line to create a new support trend line, which means most likely we will need actually to lower our support line to be exactly right here to match up with the strong key support level right here at 0.69117. I'm trying to give you the most accurate entry possible, as much as possible. So that being said, we have to wait for the AUD USD to continue the fall to another 24 pips before we can start buying it. And if we do, we can actually keep the trade running for about 80 pips. Again, the final target, in my opinion, is going to be right here, the peak of the resistance, exactly right here at 0.70633, but I want to give you a more realistic signal that everyone hopefully can make a good profit out of it. And also I'm expecting from the market to be ranging inside this neutral channel. That's gonna be that's actually the reason I'm selecting 0.69912 as of my target, which means it's gonna be about 80 pips. And meanwhile, the safe zone is going to be ranging only till the lowest level of the support right here. Yeah, exactly right here at 0.68754, which means the safe zone is ranging for only 36 pips, no more. Let me now please write the signal for you. So that's everything for the AUD USD. Let's now move to the next pair. Let's now move to the USD CAD. Alright, so of course the buy order is no longer valid for this pair. So let's now change this signal and let's see what we can do next with the USD CAD. Now let's first of all go to the bigger time frame. Let's go to the daily chart. Alright, so the daily chart here is showing us something very interesting. First of all, we can see the rejection from breaking out from that long-term resistance at 1.30770. Second of all, it shows us also a strong key support level right here, which was actually a real level of the support at 1.27161. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the USD CAD is actually going to continue the fall all the way till it reaches that strong key support level, which was actually a real level of support at 1.27161, which means we can expect from the USD CAD to fall to another 178 pips before we can actually consider buying the pair. Actually, we are having here a strong key support level. As you can see, it was actually a support trend line. And if I draw here, if I just simply drag the same line, we can notice here this, my friends. Let me just show it to you. 1 second. Okay, sorry, I thought there is some music in the background. Let me just make sure. All right, nothing. Okay, let me just clear something. Now, after drawing or dragging actually this support trend line all the way to this strong key support trend line level, we can see that most likely the market is actually going to continue the fall till it reaches that level of a support and support trend line, and then it's going to continue the rise, which means we can still looking for a bearish movement for the upcoming few days. Now, after confirming the direction on the daily chart, let's now move to the 1 hour time frame. Now, actually on the 1 hour time frame, what we can see here is very interesting. Let's just stay to the 1 hour time frame. So we are having right here a support level, a support trend line, which was actually a higher low, and this is a higher low. Now, as you can see, before that, actually I rushed with this. Before that, let's now check where is exactly the strong key support level for the USD CAD. It's exactly right there. That's actually, my friends, the strong key support level for the USD CAD at 1.29087. Pay attention. We are having here a strong key support level, which was actually a real level of a support, a false breakout. Then we have again the same level of the real support being respected. Then eventually we had finally here the bearish breakout from that level. Now also we are having here that support trend line, which I have drawn earlier, just exactly like that. Now that tells us a lot. Now most likely the USD CAD, upon the pressure from the current support at 1.28937, most likely is actually gonna make a pullback, retesting the broken support trend line and to create a new resistance trend line. That's exactly, my friends, where we are actually going to start selling the pair. And most likely the target is of course has to be right here, the nearest strong key resistance level, and became a support as well at 1.28039. The only issue that this is actually 100 pips. And I prefer always to give you a more realistic target. So therefore I'm going to give you the target right here at that support level at 1.28259. I just want to make sure that most of you guys are going to end up in a good profit before any unexpected reversals occurs. So the target is actually going to be 82 pips. Meanwhile, for the safe zone, actually we'll be aiming the peak of the resistance exactly right here. If the market is ever going to be able to exceed that level of a previous support trend line, then most likely the market actually won't be able to continue the fall, and most likely is going to continue the rise. But again, I highly doubt that this is going to happen, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 45 pips. Meanwhile, the target is about 82 pips. Let me now please write the signal for you. And that's everything for the USD CAD. Let's now move to the next pair. So by looking now at the USD/GPY, we can see right here that we of course need to delete the old signal. Sadly, it's no longer valid. And let's see now what we can do next with this pair. Actually, if we check the weekly chart, the USD/GPY actually has ended right here as a strong pin bar, which means that most likely the market is actually going to get ready for a strong bearish movement for the upcoming days. However, keep in mind that on the monthly chart, the USD/GPY has actually made the historical breakout from the very long-term resistance at 135.209. Now, also keep in mind that we are having here the peak of that resistance, and since we are actually right now on 25th of June, so most likely actually the candle is going to be closed like this at exactly the same price of the peak of the candle at the resistance, which happened at 2001. Now, most likely the USD/GPY is getting ready for a bearish movement, and right now, after confirming the direction on the monthly, weekly chart, now we can go to the 4-hour time frame, and even something, let's go to the 1-hour time frame to confirm the entry. Actually, I'm gonna go to the 4-hour time frame before moving to the 1-hour time frame. So right now, we need to identify first the strong real level of support and resistance. Right now, we are having here the real level of the resistance exactly at 135.420. And pay attention that the market has indeed reached already this level last week and started the reversal, and the candle has closed like this, as we can see. Now, we are having right here in the middle this false breakout. That false breakout tells us a lot, because right now we can see that the market is getting ready to create here the head and shoulders pattern, which means that most likely we are going to start shorting the USD/JPY exactly at the peak of the resistance at exactly right here. Let me just be accurate, 135.446. We can see also right now on the 1 hour time frame. Let me just be more accurate. Exactly. So right here we can see the real level of the resistance being respected, and here we had two candles representing the false breakout, and then we're having here this wick right here, this long wick right here represents the real level of the resistance, which means we can expect from the USD/JPY to continue the rise again, and most likely that level of a resistance is going to be respected. But that's not enough. We need to use right now the resistance trend lines to confirm the entry. So let's now here draw a resistance trend line just like that. And again, we can see how the market has actually been respecting that level of a resistance trend line, and it has become also a support trend line with only one single attempt. Now all we need to do is simply drag the same line right here and simply place it exactly right here. Why right here? Because this is actually the support trend line, the key support trend line, which has become already a a resistance trend line. Now I want to bring to your attention, when the market has actually created right here a support trend line, it has created only one single attempt, which was actually not that big movement. But when that support trend line became a resistance trend line, the fall was major. It was actually a big fall. It was actually about 134 pips for the fall, and right now the market is rising again, retesting the same level, and most likely is gonna react the same. History usually repeats itself in Forex, my friends, and by looking at the left we can see also that this was the strong key resistance level, which was also a real level of the resistance. We can assume that the USD/JPY is gonna indeed fall exactly at that level of a resistance, and we can actually aim the lowest level of the support right here at 134.480, which means we can aim approximately 110 pips profit from this signal. Meanwhile, the safe zone is going to be ranging just a little bit above that resistance at 135.930. Why right here? Because actually we are relying on this real level of the resistance, and if the market is going to be able to exceed that level, then most likely the support trend line hasn't been respected, and most likely the market is going to continue the rise. But again, by judging the weekly candle, I doubt that this is going to ever happen. So let me now please write the signal for you. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the USD/JPY. Again, the safe zone is going to be ranging for exactly 50 pips. Meanwhile, the target is going to be about 110 pips. Let's now move to the next pair. Let's now take a look at the USD/CHF. Alright, so of course we need to get rid of the old signal. It's no longer valid, and let's now see what we can do next with this pair. Now actually most of you might actually assume that the USD/CHF is gonna continue the rise, because right now it's actually facing a strong key support level at 0.95831. Allow me please to disagree with you. If we go to the daily chart again, we are having right here, my friends, a support trend line, and right here we are having also another support trend line. And check this out. What do we see right here? We can see that we had right here a strong key support trend line level, and the USD/CHF has finally managed to break out from that level of a support trend line. Let's chase the candles one by one. So right now we are having here the support level exactly right here. Exactly, just like I'm just making sure that my line is actually touching the entire candles in this pattern. So now let's pay attention. This was actually the support trend line, and this was the bearish breakout. Now the normal behavior from the market, once it makes actually a bearish breakout from the support trend line, is gonna reach the nearest strong key support level and then reverses at that level, retesting the broken support trend line to create a new resistance trend line, and after that is gonna continue the fall. On daily chart we can see that this has indeed happened. Now let's see it more clear than that. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Now it's actually more clear. Now we can see it clearly, right? Now we can see clearly that we had right here the support trend line on the 4-hour time frame, and this was, my friends, the bearish breakout from that level, and right here we had the retest of that broken support trend line. This is a new resistance trend line number 1. Now that means that most likely the USD+CHF is actually going to continue the fall. Right now the USD+CHF is actually facing a strong key support level exactly right here at 0.95461, which means we need to look for the nearest strong key resistance levels, and based on that we will start shorting the pair. Now we are having here a strong key resistance level at 0.96387, which was previously also a support zone. Most likely the USD+CHF is going to continue the rise, and I believe it's going to reverse right here, my friends, at 0.96387, which means we have to wait for the pair to go to rise to another 53 pips before we can start finally shorting it. And if we do, actually the target is going to be right here, the lowest level of the support, because this was actually a support number 2. We have right here support number 1, right here support number 2. So we can expect from the market, after seeing this bearish movement on the weekly and daily chart, most likely is actually gonna continue the fall all the way right here to create support number 3, which means we can aim approximately 117 pips profit from this signal. Meanwhile, the safe zone will be ranging a little bit above that level of a resistance, because we are actually relying on that level. And the peak of the real level of the resistance at 0.96891 is gonna be the edge of our safe zone, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 50 pips only, and again the target is gonna be 117 pips. Let me now please write the signal for you. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the USD+CHF. Hopefully it's gonna be a good one, and hopefully we will make good profit out of it. Let's now move to the next one. Let's now take a look at the gold. So of course the sell signal is no longer valid for the gold, and right now we need to look at the bigger time frames to figure what we can do next with this pair. Now allow me please to go first with the weekly chart. So now on the weekly chart we are having here something very interesting. First of all, we are having here that support trend line. As we can see, the market has actually been respecting that level of a support trend line. Indicates that most likely the gold is actually going to continue the rise. Now we need to pay attention that we have to see on the left side a strong key support level to rely on to understand that we can indeed start buying the gold right there. And not only that, if in case we started indeed buying the gold, where is our target is gonna be? What is the target? Where exactly we can expect from the gold to continue the rise to? Now first of all, we need to understand that we're having here a strong key resistance level, which was, by the way, a real level of a resistance at 1904.27. This, my friends, was a real level of a resistance. Meanwhile, we had right here a false breakout. So right now, after seeing that the market is indeed respecting that support trend line, we can actually expect from the gold to continue to rise all the way, retesting the same, or actually revisiting the same level of the real resistance. So now let's move to the smaller time frame. Let's go to the daily chart. So now on the daily chart, we need to delete of course the previous support trend line and draw here another support trend line, and of course we have to draw it right here from the lower low to this higher low. Now I actually want to select the lowest level where we can expect from the market to continue to go, as I mean the maximum where the market might actually continue the fall to. Now by seeing the same level of the support trend line right here at the lowest level of this tail, and right here as well, we can assume that the gold actually might continue the fall and reverse exactly right here at that previous support level. Let me just draw here as another support trend line, just like that. Fantastic. Now the harmony is completed. Now we can see that we are having here a support trend line, and also we have right here a strong key support level exactly at 1806.52. Pay attention that the very same level was previously also a support and a strong key resistance level, and also pay attention that it was a real level of a resistance. Meanwhile, we had right here the false breakout, and the level which I have selected is actually the real level of the resistance. That's all fantastic, and actually it seems a perfect signal in my opinion. So therefore, we need also to add another thing. We had right here a resistance trend line, and check this out. This is fantastic, right? We had right here the resistance trend line, and we had the bullish breakout from that resistance trend line, and right here we had the first retest of that broken support resistance trend line and create support trend line number 1. And right here we had the second attempt on support trend line number 2, and we can start buying the pair or the gold exactly at the third attempt of the support trend line. So I believe it's actually a perfect signal. Hopefully, of course, it's gonna reverse exactly what I'm looking for. And if that happens, we are actually aiming the nearest strong key resistance level, which is exactly at 1874.32, which means we are aiming approximately 673 pips profit from this signal, which is of course not gonna happen in my opinion, or at least, I mean, I want to give realistic signals. So that being said, I am choosing the nearest resistance level to our entry. This is, my friends, the same principles of 20 pips a day strategy, which means we are aiming approximately 414 pips profit from this signal. Meanwhile, the safe zone is going to be ranging only till the lowest level of the key support level at 1786.57, which means the safe zone is ranging for about 185 pips. Meanwhile, the target is exactly 430 pips. Let me now please write the signal for you. And there goes your signal, my friends, for the gold, and hopefully it's gonna work very well, and hopefully, of course, it's gonna bring us lots of profit. Again, I want to remind everyone to be very careful when trading these signals. Again, nothing at all is secured, nothing at all is guaranteed. Also for the premium group, nothing at all is guaranteed. I noticed that in the beginning of the video, I said for those who have joined the copier to switch to option number 3 to secure profits, but I want to take it back. I mean, securing profits is not even a valid word, in this business. All I meant is to have better results as maximum as possible, and hopefully for the best. Again, don't forget to never set any pending orders. Don't forget to keep your eyes on the market. Pay attention to every single aspect, especially the news, the high impact news. They can change the direction of the signals any moment. So again, hopefully it's gonna be a very good week, and hopefully we will all make good profits out of it. That's everything from me. Sorry for the very long video, but that is what I can do. In the end, I hope that is informative to you, and I would like to thank you for watching.